first thing I heard was the rhythm. A dull, repetitive thump-thump-thump from the other side of the wall, timed with these muffled, breathy moans. It was 4 a.m. on a Saturday, and I'd been staring at the ceiling for half an hour, my sheets tangled around my legs. The smell of last night's incense from her room still hung faintly in the air. I was the shy girl from upstate, hiding in a messy bun and an oversized t-shirt. Sarah was a whirlwind of perfume and confidence, a total city goddess disaster buy. And that morning, the scent of her perfume still lingering in the hall, she was about to pull me into her orbit in a way I never saw coming. Because what started as a joke about my split ends ended with the deafening buzz of clippers against my neck, the weight of a silky red cape on my shoulders, and the feeling of years of my hair pooling like silk in my lap. My entire life was about to change. Hey everyone, it's Kate. This is the story of the most terrifying and ultimately the best haircut of my life. It's about my roommate Sarah, a basement barbershop called Barber Lem, and how the scent of hairspray and a pair of clippers unlocked a part of me I'd been hiding from. This is a true story. I still get butterflies remembering it, so let's rewind. It all started the next morning. I was picking at a bowl of cereal, the clink of my spoon the only sound, when the guest left, a cheerleader from my physics class, her face flushed crimson. The air shifted as Sarah walked in. Even in track pants, she seemed to glow. She smelled like vanilla and sleep. She ruffled my hair, her fingers scratching lightly against my scalp. I don't know where those hands have been, I protested, but my heart wasn't in it. She laughed, a bright, clear sound. You need a haircut, she said, her voice still husky from the night. She called me a librarian, said my ponytail was lifeless, said a change might perk up that sex life. And as much as I wanted to defend my split ends, a part of me, deep down, knew she was right. My life felt beige. My hair was a security blanket I'd stopped noticing was frayed. So I whispered, maybe just a trim. The words felt like a betrayal. She didn't hesitate. We're leaving in 10 minutes, she announced, her voice full of triumph. The knot in my stomach tightened instantly. But I had no idea what her idea of a trim was. She wasn't taking me to a calm, beige salon. She was taking me somewhere else. The place was down a flight of concrete stairs, the air cool and damp. A sign in hot pink letters read Barber Lem. Sarah pushed the door open, and a bell chimed, but the sound was swallowed by the aggressive pulse of punk music. The air was thick with the chemical scent of hair dye and the powdery, sweet smell of talcum powder. It was a barbershop, for women, and it was overwhelming. My eyes stung from the hairspray haze. The floorboards were dusty with a kaleidoscope of hair clippings, blonde, black, red. I saw a stylist, a goddess with a black mohawk and full-sleeve tattoos, guiding a set of buzzing clippers up the neck of a young girl. The bzzzzzzz vibrated in my teeth. I was frozen. This was not a place for trims. This was a place for transformations, and her name, I soon learned, was Stacy. Then Stacy looked right at us. She shook out a cape, a flash of brilliant red silk with a sharp snap. Next, she called out over the music. Before I could breathe, Sarah chirped, Kate is first. My legs, moving on their own, carried me to the chair. The leather creaked as I sat down, cold against my thighs. She wrapped a strip of crisp tissue paper around my neck. Then the cape billowed over me, settling with a heavy, silky weight. It smelled of someone else's perfume and clean cotton. I was drowning in red. I just want a trim, I squeaked. The few women waiting on the bench chuckled. Stacy just smiled, a slow, dangerous smile, and then snip. The sound was so final, so sharp. I felt a slight tug and then a sudden, shocking lightness. My ponytail, my long brunette security blanket, was tossed onto the floor in front of me. My hand shot out from under the cape to feel the blunt, shocking ends. My breath hitched. Stacy's hand pressed down on my head. It's gone, honey. Now sit still. Then I heard it, the click, the hum. The clippers came to life, a angry, vibrating bee. I felt the heat of the motor an instant before the metal teeth touched the very base of my neck. I flinched. Her grip tightened. The bzzzzzzzzz was deafening, right in my ear. I felt the vibration travel through my skull as she made the first pass, a long, slow scrape upwards. A cascade of fine brunette hair slid down the cape into my lap. I could feel the strange, cool air on my freshly exposed skin. Someone yelled, higher, and laughter echoed. I was the main event. But then something shifted. The brutal buzzing stopped. The silence felt heavy. Then a new sound, the fine spritz-spritz of a water bottle. A cool mist settled on my shorn hair. The scent of wet hair filled my nose. Now it was just the sound of her scissors. Snip, snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip. A metallic, precise rhythm. It was almost hypnotic. I closed my eyes and surrendered to the feeling. The tug of the comb, the cool touch of the shears against my scalp, the gentle pressure of her fingers tilting my head. The angry tension drained away, replaced by a strange, buzzing calm. She misted my fringe, and I caught the clean, aquatic scent of the water. I felt the sections being pulled forward, the tension, then the release as she cut. Snip, snip, snip. Years of growth fell away into my lap. Then a new sensation, the roar of a hairdryer blasting warm air that smelled of hot electricity. I felt the round brush pulling and curling the strands. The cape filled with loose hairs, tickling my chin. And then, silence. The chair spun around. I opened my eyes. The girl in the mirror had large, shocked brown eyes framed by a sharp, glossy black fringe and a chic, ear-length bob. I slowly raised a hand from under the cape. My fingers touched cool, silky hair. I touched the nape of my neck, feeling the surprising prickle of the shaved section. I didn't see the small-town girl anymore. I saw someone else. Someone bold. Someone I wanted to be. A slow smile spread across my face. I loved it. The car ride home was quiet, but the air was electric. The only sound was the hum of the engine and the soft radio. Then, Sarah's hand, warm and sure, found mine on the gearshift. I didn't pull away. We walked into the house, and without a word, she pulled me into her bedroom. The familiar scent of her vanilla perfume and clean sheets enveloped me. She turned me to face her, her fingers gently tracing the line of my jaw before sliding up into my new haircut, scratching lightly at my scalp. A shiver went down my spine. "You were so cute in that chair," she whispered, her voice low, and then she kissed me. It was soft at first, then hungry. She tasted like mint and the coffee she'd had earlier. It was every